Ryan here from Lenscaping, everybody. How are you doing today? So I'm just out for a walk. I'm going to try a few different angles with this camera and see what I think of it. Alright, here we go. This is the super wide angle. The first one was the wide angle. Some dog shots here. What are you up to, guys? Huh? What are you guys doing? Alright, next up we'll be taking it outside for a little test walk and see what I think of the AKASO. That looks like what it's called. And then we'll see if the battery holds up. Alright, and the quality could be good. So it's moving day, and we have Brent moving up the speakers from the gazebo. Let's tag along and see what he's up to. Four-wheel truck. We still need to cut those down over there. Ooh, ominous clouds. Alright, so what do you got here? You got one, so the fire pit's already been moved. There was a fire pit right here on the table. Cute little fella. I'll have to show you guys what it looks like. And we're going to continue moving today. I'm not doing a lot of moving and lifting because I got back problem. It's great how it just lined up with moving day. Are those heavy?
No.
No? You make it look heavy.
No, that's okay.
Well, let's make it look heavy, you ask me. I don't know how heavy they are, but I don't know how good the audio will be on this. I guess we'll find out because I speed talk. Anyways, let's go for some like footage of colors and stuff and see what this camera can do. It's cloudy out, so I can't say that the resolution, the screen brightness is good enough. I did not see an adjustment for that. And over here we have the Lincoln. Just kind of rocking it. I'll be getting a leaf blower out soon, I guess, provided my back gets better soon. Clean all this up. That'll be fun. Hey guys, so we're still moving stuff up to the porch. When I say we, I mean Brent. And we're now on the wide angle lens, not the super wide angle. He's already moved both speakers. We got that room in the house with stuff. That's the next fun part. And maybe next to the couch or something. Microphones, mic stands, the crankingly good speakers. And this is the AKASO, I guess that's how I call it, Brave 4 4K camera. And also a bunch of pellets and blocks that needs to be moved up here because, well, we're going to use it even in the winter. Right, Brett?
Huh?
We use it even in the winter. A little fire pit.
Yeah. Should work good in the room.
Yeah, it should. So here's some of the things that we'll be using. Yeah, that's starter pellets. Oh, get a light switch. Maybe we can get that one to work now. And of course, some lighter stuff. Let's go say hi to the dogs. This is Apple. It's a half. This is Savannah. She's the Fruit Loop of the bunch, like I said. She's afraid of everything. And Ellery is obviously a little Miss Grumpy today. You grumpy today, Al? You grumpy today, Al? Hey, I just found Brent walking back from the porch. What else did he get? What do you got left?
That little stuff.
Alright, well, for the rest of this video, practice video with this camera for its first shot, this is what we were able to do for a temporary garage. It is the Shelter Logic 28 by 22 feet canvas setup garage. Okay, so they got this back in May and finally just got it put up yesterday. It wasn't that difficult. It was just time consuming trying to get things level and trying to get it level and all that. So that was the consuming part. So, but there's plenty of room inside, guys. This is one thing I like. Lots of room. It's got doors enough to get cars in. But check out the room in here. This thing is amazing. It's even got some pretty good acoustics. I don't know if it changes on this, but it's got some good acoustics. It's 15 feet peak at the top. So when this gets turned in, it smells like a big tent. I feel like I'm camping. And, but it should at least get us through the winter, and then we're going to make the whole thing metal. Going to use some corrugated metal, and that way there it will, don't have to rely on the canvas, you know, forever. It's a canvas. Who wants to do that? Nobody. Alright guys, here we go out through the hole. What do you mean there's a junk pile there? I didn't see any junk pile. That was actually the old garage where they came down and some guy was supposed to come take it all, but he took what he wanted, but he didn't take it all. Wish I could remember his name. Give him a bad Yelp review. So alright guys, this was my test of the AKASO Brave 4 4K action cam from Amazon. If it does a good job, if the price is definitely right, just make sure you get a card reader and a good PC software, because you won't be doing this on your phone. We're going back to old school, which I think makes more sense. You can record so much better and do a lot better editing. You can't record better, but you can do better editing. How goes the trips?
One more.
One more. Alright. So I'm going to take this back in the house now and see what I get for footage. Again, I'm shooting right now in 1080p. Alright, the first thing I noticed that I don't like is it's grainy in low light. The second thing that I don't like is when I took the off 4K and went to 1080p, it actually looked like the picture got better to me on that, but the video stabilization stopped working. So we are on 2.7K right now. The other thing is the audio is a little bit muffled, even though you get wind noise. I'm not sure where the microphone is. I'm looking for it. But, so let's see if this helps. I had it on me and I was just kind of thinking the same thing. It's like, well, where's the stabilization? Because it kind of kicked out. I'll tell you, the best thing you can get your hands on is a Sony action cam. Alright, hey guys, I am back again, getting ready to go for my evening walk. And what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm shooting in 1080p 60 frames per second with the AKASO Brave 4 4K. I just ordered the AKASO Brave, what was it, 7 LE. So I'm going to be able to compare the two between the video. This one looks a little grainy to me a lot of times, especially when I'm moving. And again, we're shooting in 1080p at 60 frames per second. Hopefully the stabilization is working on this now. It was not doing it on 100 frames per second. You could not get that to happen. So here we go. Let's take a walk up the road, y'all. So I think the audio quality isn't top notch, but I think it could be good for a quick vlog. And that's really all I'm looking for. And again, I am shooting in the wide angle lens. I hope that I have those options when it comes to the other camera. And I'm walking at a pretty good pace here. I may not look it, but I am. So it'll be interesting to see how this does. Again, the battery looks to be kind of a problem, but it comes with two. Have to wait and see. It's definitely not a camera I would set up and film something with anyways. If I'm going to film something like that, I would use a much better camera. This is for that quick, you know, hey, I want to get back into vlogging type of a situation. You know? So, let's see what happens with this. Mr. FedEx. Alright, so I'm going to take a pause here and I'll let you guys and me see what I think about this stabilization, because I am clipping along pretty good. They're starting to change colors. And again, this is 1080p 60 frames per second. Image stabilization is on. We do definitely have some clouds. This does look like it would take an external microphone, which would be very nice. They cut down on the wind noise, etc. But again, if I'm going to do actual interviews, I'm not going to be doing it this way. Well, I should say that, because on the fly I would be doing it this way. I'm going to be coming into a hill, and I tell y'all, since I was vlogging last, back when Lenscaping Maine was pretty, popular, and we were filming every day, I better not record while I go up a hill because I sound like a choo-choo train. We've all gotten kind of spoiled with our phone resolutions, but those are expensive phones. And this is waterproof with a case. The one coming is waterproof without a case for a certain amount of time to a very short level of water. This one cannot get wet at all without a case. But again, here comes the hill, so I'm gonna be piecing down this one. I can actually see if I can find a way to hook this to the case. Has the GoPro mounts. I gotta find a way to put this into a case and see if I can make the same thing happen. See what happens. Action shot. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Was it's cloudy now. It's a little bit darker, so let's see how grainy is the footage, and the wind is picking up. So again, I don't really see where the microphone is. I'm looking all around, so it's probably got to be pretty windy. I wonder if I can make an enclosure though. If I'm filming on a windy day and I do something like this, I got my hand cupped around the camera. It's small enough, easy enough to do that. How does that sound now? We're still pretty windy. So can I ease up on the wind by doing this? Huh? Is that working? Is it? We'll find out, won't we? Actually, I'd like to see something that works. There's a really easy solution. I wouldn't have to make a housing. Really windy right here, right now. Very windy. So I wonder also what that's doing to the muffled sound, because I do notice that the audio is pretty bassy. So that seems to be an AKASO thing in general. So if I can just get that under wraps a little bit. It's got to be an equalizer set up in the video editing software, is my thought. And I hope that the lens is pretty good scratch resistant, because there's nothing that goes over it unless it's in its case. Well, now if it's in its case, well, there's some good wind, but I don't have it cupped. In its case, you can't hear any of the audio. But again, it does take an external microphone. I don't really know which ones that would be. The reviews on the 7LE, nobody can seem to say whether or not it takes an external microphone or not. If this one does, I would think that one's going to, because they're trying to just be a budget GoPro, which to me, GoPro's a waste of time anyways. Gotta cup it, it's getting windy. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it's cupped. Can anybody still hear me? So it's cupped because of the wind. And I thought I heard a car coming, so I was dodging out of the way. But in the 7LE, and this is the Brave 4, the Brave 7LE has a dual screen. So instead of just seeing this like digital alarm clock on the front, it'll actually have a screen so I can see what I'm framing. I don't really feel the need for that. I feel like it's going to chew up battery, but since both screens on the 7 don't work at the same time, the battery should be about the same. I'm hoping it's better, actually. We'll see as I come around the mountain. I'll play with these settings some more as I go along. It has a time lapse, so maybe I'll set up for a time lapse. Although, like I said, because I don't see anything as far as being able to hook it to anything without being in its case, you would think that the 7 would have to have something. So, okay, I keep bringing up little things about this AKASO. On this one, the Brave 4K, the battery door doesn't have a flap. It's not on a hinge. So you could easily lose that. So that's another concern. You might want to consider Scotch tape, you know, just throw a piece over that when you're going to do it. Bring some Scotch tape, because like I said, not sure how the battery life is going to be. Doesn't look like it's going to be fantastic. What else do I have to think? Well, like I said, hopefully the image stabilization is working right now. That's huge. So, the other problem, damn, it's going to be cold here pretty soon. The leaves are already starting to come down. So, it is coming into October, I guess. But, so the big thing for me, I like my jacket? I like my jacket. A good friend of mine up in Canada got it for me for Christmas last year. And, I might be going back up for Christmas this year, or I don't know. Anybody get their holiday plans in order yet, or you guys like me last minute? Leave a comment. Song of the week. I haven't been playing a lot. I've been doing more live stuff. My new CD is out though, if you guys are interested. It's called Echoes from the Past. It's for sale on Amazon. You can also follow me on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Deezer, iHeartRadio, and a few more I missed there. As you can hear, I'm just really out of shape now. So that's why I'm out here doing this. This is why I'm out here walking. Actually, since I've vlogged on Lenscaping, I'm about 60 pounds heavier now than I was then. Kind of interesting how fast that can turn around happen. But it's been a long time since Lenscaping has been back in full throttle. It won't be as entertaining, I'm sure. Yeah, who am I kidding? That would be interesting with me doing it all by myself. And trying to find things to do. Always wave to the neighbors, they're very nice people. I believe Doug and Jackie, their names, they're very nice people. But I don't think the new one, the 7, is going to be any better when it comes to low light. From what I've seen, you gotta spend, $300-$400 now for, decent action cam. And not everybody needs a GoPro, we're not all extreme sports people. We just want to vlog. Now, there are options for that. But the size difference is far too much. I mean, this is a nice little camera. I love it. It fits in my pocket. Turn it on. It's very responsive when you hit record. Now, a vlogging camera, you can get one for $170, somewhere in there. And that comes with a decent microphone, all this other stuff. It's a good setup. It appears to be a good setup. But the problem I have with it is I don't want to lug that around. I like being able to grab a camera like this and pull it out and just start vlogging. Just start vlogging. I do wish it had a little bit wider angle lens, or field of view would be nice. We have a car coming. Let's make sure I don't get hit, okay, guys? I got hit last year by a trailer on this road. I'm going to duck the camera down. I think I'll leave it down here for a minute and see how that stabilization is working. And you get the bigger vlogging cameras with the, nice microphones and the framing. And they're great, and I do plan on getting one of those. But I just need something on the go like this. So I see something interesting on the side of the road, I want to go talk to that person. And that's what this channel's always been about. That looks cool, let's vlog it. Or, in my case, I started this channel, in my case, like I said, I started this channel just for my own day-to-day vlogs. Instead of writing into a journal every day, I thought, why not put it in video? And I thought YouTube is great storage for this, and I can always go back and share it with friends if I want to, if something good was going to happen that day. And it turned into being quite the hobby, and I've let it go, just like I've let myself go, for a long time. So it's time to kick this back in gear and get myself back in shape, because I can't let that go. And I kind of miss all the landscaping people that were always talking and sending song requests, giving new ideas and places to go check out, and things you guys might like to see here in the state of Maine. So And that's the other fun thing too. Like, if you go onto a road trip, bring your little camera with you. You don't want to be hauling your phone out, wasting your battery. This is why I find it important for this car. Let's test it. And different POV. So, you know, you don't want to be hauling your phone all the time, wasting your battery, you know, filling up your phone storage. Again, a little action cam with a good audio to it, and you know, it's not going to be, it says 4K, but let's get real, guys, it's probably not going to be 4K, not on a budget camera. This camera was $89. Okay, and it came with a whole bunch of accessories. Where what? I have a GoPro 5 and I can't stand it because you can't hold it. It makes, you can't get the audio out of it. It crinkles like you're playing with a plastic bag every single time you touch it with your fingers. Or if you put it on the end of its pole, it does the same thing. It's crazy. So I was very disappointed with GoPro. I do not endorse GoPro. Not for audio. If you don't care about your audio, the picture quality is really good. But again, you're getting up into phone territory. Do you want to spend $600-700 on a crash camera like this? No. So the 7 I'm looking at is like $30 more than this. Came up as one of the top 5 GoPro solutions. And yeah, still got work to do, but it's good to see something up there. Really is, because the Lincoln I showed you earlier and the Generally Tribute truck will be going in there for the winter. Finally, it's been 2 winters I've been outside. And I'll also be able to get a bunch of tools and stuff. You know, just stuff that's in the garage back in there. So let's go see what the overall impression is. Right now my overall impression of this camera is 60% satisfied. If the stabilization worked this time on 1080p at 60 frames per second on wide angle, I would change that to a 70% satisfied, depending on how hard it is to get the audio bass drop down to a nice, easy to hear tone. Alright, so I am back from the walk. I did the 1080p with the image stabilization on at 60 frames per second. This is what it looks like in the house in regular lighting when you're not outside in the bright light. I'm sure it's going to be grainy. I heard the wind. I heard me being winded. And like I said, it's grainy. I'm in 1080p. I'm going to do the same thing right now real quick, and I'm going to put it in 4K first. The image stabilization on 1080p at 60 frames per second was decent, but it didn't wow me. I didn't get the wow factor out of that. So let me pop this back on to 4K and I'll give you my final thoughts on the camera. So now we are in 4K 30 frames per second, image stabilization on, which you don't need to see right now because I'm not really walking. It does work pretty well, as you will have seen in the footage I took earlier in 4K when Brent was moving stuff up onto the porch for the winter. But I'm pretty sure you're going to find it's grainy, even though this is just regular, regular lighting. It might be a little darker in here, but not really. So my final thoughts, for under $100, decent. The next jump up is just like I said, it's too much. It's like $300. There's got to be an in between, and that's kind of what I'm shooting for with the AKASO 7LE. So I will be looking forward to getting that one and being able to do a comparison between the two, and then I will just keep the one I like, and if I don't like either one, which I don't see happening, this one qualifies enough to keep me semi-satisfied. So anyways, my final thoughts are, it's not a waste of money if you're a quick vlogger. If you want to do something more in depth, then definitely you're going to want to invest into a vlog camera, which I will be doing sooner or later. But that's not going to be a carry around, keep in my pocket, hey, check this out situation. And that's what I'm kind of looking for right now. So this is close. We'll see what its big brother does. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Brian from Lenscaping, Maine. It is coming back. Be sure to tune in for the day-to-day vlogs. I just do the day-to-day activities. That's all it was meant to be, was a journal. So let's do this. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Peace out.